Hello, this is my nixOS configuration, and for a little face jump. Oh my gosh, that was insane. All right. So this is my computer. The system is calendar, so I'm gonna do like a little kind of rundown of my configuration through calendar's lens. And that's kind of it. So let's kind of just look at my basic GitHub. Um, So I do a fair amount of rewrites recently. I'm a little crazy, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've been learning how to like make releases and yeah. And I've been making some documentation on how to like install it, and some things that I've learned about like the things that I've been configuring in nixOS while doing it. So like Pipewire, that was like one thing. Um, This is kind of like just some documentations I figured out. As you can see, the later on I got into it, the more less clean it became. But it's kind of just like that everywhere. Like the install guide, I've kind of rewritten the install guide so it's a little bit cleaner. But yeah, so this is my nixOS configuration. Um, and yeah, so I guess we'll just start in the flake.nix. That is kind of where all the systems are declared. So I guess we'll just do that. Let me close all these so I can give you guys kind of the general rundown of the whole system. All right. So in Flight.nix, we are essentially um, declaring kind of like all the inputs and all the systems that I want to use. So when I want to make a new system, I copy my little template and I just slap it on the bottom. So ZMR is the latest. It's on my laptops. And in here, I just declare inputs. I keep my like pretty minimal. I try to reduce the amount of confusion I get when I kind of get back into this. But another thing I pull in is Home Manager and NVF. NVF is used for NeoVim, and Home Manager is just used to manage my user. So it just makes it convenient, so I don't need to worry about like, oh, what is this program managed in user or is this program managed in the system? So I just want to have that little separator. And as you can see, that separation is within user bin and system bin. So it's pretty easy, and it's all within modjar. But within hostjar is where we actually um, declare system-specific options. Well, we don't declare the options, but we tell it. So in default, when it gets called from the flake, it goes into this file, and yeah, so it calls the system configuration and the boot and the hardware configuration. So boot is kind of just, I don't know, I'm just kind of lazy, and I kind of am scared of bootloaders, so I just do it manually. Just make sure that it's as it should be on every device. Um, and here it sets up the home directory for every user, and extra special args to pass is like GNOME, Hyperland, and Neri settings that I have set in the system.nix. And inputs and host name is just for specific things, like if I want to, like set like the variable for host name on certain like shell aliases or stuff like that. Um, And then imports just sends it where it is. So user.nix is where we fill out what the user is going to be having, and user bin is where all the options are actually declared and all the modules are declared. So yeah, that's kind of where all that is. And I guess we'll just go into system bin first. So I kind of treat this all kind of like a little like checklist or a fill out sheet. Um, so everything's kind of enabled by default. I was kind of lazy with calendar, as you can see. Like some of these, well, okay, or you guys probably don't notice, but this computer does not have Bluetooth, and in user I have it enabled, but I have it disabled on here. So, yeah, it's a little silly, but yeah. So you can set like additional users in here, since it's a array or a list. I can't remember what they define in here. I'm kind of scatterbrained right now. But yeah, so you can kind of just fill out what you want. So if you want like GNOME, Hyperland, Neri, Bluetooth, TLP, Power Profiles daemon. I had a lot of fun with setting up audio. I don't know if I'll show you like a whole bunch of it, but I really had a lot of fun with it. It was so fun. But essentially just sets up like my audio configuration, so I can set it like separate um, all the audio from the entire system. As you can hear, there's probably like some rain noises in the background, or it might be too quiet. I don't know. I have no idea. But everything's separated. So when I record videos, everything's compartmentalized. It's beautiful. Um, Set up local send for the system if we want to send like local files, which I do. Gaming stuff, I want to enable drivers, and I want to enable Steam since this is a pretty good rig for gaming. Virtual camera, so I can actually, use my camera on like Discord or stuff like that. And Vert is just enabling virtualization settings that I've set up, so I can do the virtual machine stuff. So it's fun. And in server, just sets up server options. So right now I only have Jellyfin set up because I want to set up Jellyfin on Whale, which is one of my computers that I'm going to set up on this. I haven't really made a configuration for it, but I just want to set up Jellyfin and I'm just ironing out the kinks. Right now it's kind of semi-polished. It's just, I want to get that little squeak in. Yeah, and going into user, it's very much a similar process, minus the experience part for that. It's because I don't really need to change it. I'll probably make it a manual thing, but I don't know. Like, if you're going to use Hyperland, you're probably going to use my config. You can always change it, though. It doesn't matter. So yeah, and then I have my launcher. I could just remove this and just set it as like a thing to enable if you choose Hyperland or Neri. I just like at the time I just kind of did it that way. I don't know. I'm weird. Browsers, it just enables all browsers. I think I have links in there or not. I don't know. Terminal enables my favorite terminal foot. Editors just sets up all my editors and my NeoVim configuration via NVF, Discord, Flatpak, Nautilus, file managers, all that stuff. Enable it or disable it. Media, that sets up like applications that manages media, so like image viewers, video viewers, audio viewers, music players, all the stuff like that. And even Blanket, we love Blanket. So yeah, and then KeyPass is my little thing that I use for password manager. I probably should name this just password manager, but I don't know. And then Prism and Heroic are just gaming applications, so I use Prism for Minecraft, and I use Heroic for like Epic Games, GOG, and miscellaneous games that I just want to play, like Soulframe, which isn't on really any app store right now. And then art, that sets up like Krita, Blender, any other like image manipulation tools, video manipulation tools, just basic ones. The actual video editor stuff, that's like Kdenlive, I just set that manually. If I add more, I'll just make a block of it. Office, that just sets up like LibreOffice and other kind of sort of related apps like OnlyOffice or something. I think I removed that, but stuff like that will be in there. OBS just sets up my OBS configuration. Japanese, that sets up my Japanese input via the FCITX5. I don't know. AI sets up like some applications like LM Studio. I don't really use AI that much, but I have it enabled on the system because I wanted to try it out. Git, it just sets up my settings for Git. Bluetooth, again, I should probably disable that. False. Oh, thank you. And then dev just adds some like basic dev tools and basic languages. I think I could just use Nix environment. I just don't know how to do that, so I'm gonna do it when I'm ready to do it. And then theming is a separate thing. It's just oh goodness. It just sets like my themings and stuff. It's a bit broken, just because I still don't know how themes work. And then Lodjar, it just sets up the whole system, so we can go to some options. Let's go in. Oh no, let's go in Hyperland. Ooh. Yeah, so in Hyperland, this is kind of where I declare it. So the option is declared here. Then in the configuration, we actually set up Hyperland. So, and then we set up like packages that we want to come with Hyperland. Again, in here, I can set up Puzzle and just enable it there, but I have my own little Puzzle config, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just enable the option within here rather than actually in that setting. Or what else? There's like Neri as well. We can set up Neri. It's declared. Nix settings are in here as well. So we can like set up like, formatters, language servers, experimental features like Nix commands so they stop bothering us about random things. Nix helper. It's always nice. Yeah, and then like default applications and stuff. So I have like image format stuff. This needs to be sent over to Neri as extra packages, or not extra packages, just system environment packages or whatever. And yeah, so this is just kind of all the basic stuff. And then in user bin is, well, actually I want to show you my audio config. So this is just kind of like where audio is set. And then in here is my actual audio config. Oh, it's so cool. I'm so happy that I did this. So it essentially just sets up like all my default like audio channels, and then the secondary audio channels just route into them. And like if I have like a chat thing, it routes all the audio from chat into the chat audio channel. So when I'm recording audio, I could just isolate that rather than having to, I don't know, use a software to block out that noise. And same thing for music or browser or game. And yeah, and I can use this to isolate audio. So for instance, if I bring in my OBS aside, I can show you. So for instance, music, it's playing in the background, but it's actually as an audio source that's separated rather than like system audio. So if I go into settings and go into audio, you see how I have all these disabled because I want them disabled. So it makes it very convenient on having to manage the like actual global audio. That's because that's like the one thing I never really liked as a default for Windows and Linux. So I kind of just want it all separated. And it never really causes an issue on Discord too. So it's the best of any world, I guess. And yeah, and then in actually like in user bin, like we can actually declare some fun things. So for instance, Neri and Hyperland, I essentially just symlink like actual just configurations. So I make my configuration in my Nix config, and then I just symlink into it. It's because while I could configure in Nix, I've done it a couple times and I just keep running into weird errors. And I just find it's a lot easier to just configure it in the language that they're supposed to be in, and just follow the development cycle of if they change a variable, I'll just know. So yeah, that's kind of how I've been doing it. But it's been really cool though. That's because Hyperland just switched to Lua, and I've been learning how to rewrite in Lua. That's because I had my old Nuoven configuration where I learned how to use Lua, but kind of fell out of it. And then, I don't know, like my shell config, it's pretty simple. It's nothing crazy. I've learned how to like what R prompt was. I don't even, like, this been, like, I just learned how that was, or what that is, so I can actually have like a right-hand side of the bar, which is kind of cool. I don't know, what else? Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Like, nothing really crazy. We go in editors, like we have like where it just like it I have it check like if somebody enables something. Yeah, like I don't know, it's just kind of like really cool. Like I could just do this all modularly, and it's like I don't need to worry about having to configure it for every tiny little system. So like if you if the host name is this, then do that. I could just have it as an option now instead of just having to pass host name in every module. So it makes it very configurable and reliable in the long term. So yeah, this this is my nixOS configuration, and I guess I'll see you later. Goodbye.